AudioControl just released these, a brand new series of subwoofers called the Spike series. Now for a fun new build project here on the channel, I've decided that I want to build a custom subwoofer enclosure for 4 of these subwoofers. In this video, we'll talk about which model I chose and we'll review the enclosure design that I've come up with for us to build. Real quick before we get into the content, a thanks to AudioControl for being our sponsor for this video. The new Spike series of subwoofers are designed to provide clear, precise bass for an immersive listening experience. These have a radial cooled motor design, a high excursion double stitch surround, and a fiber matrix mica coated paper cone to produce ultra low bass output. Tons of other features as well, so if you'd like to learn more, be sure to check out the full overview video that I did here on the channel, and you can learn more at the links down in the video description. Alright guys, so I've got my 4 boxes here ready to open, and as I'm sure you've already noticed just from seeing the model number here, we are going with 4 of the Spike 12s. I decided to go with the 12s because the vehicle that I'm putting these in has more than enough room for 4 of the 12s, and I figured if we're going to do 4 of a subwoofer, why not go big and use 4 of the largest size that they currently have available. Now the Spike subwoofer is a single voice coil subwoofer, and they come in a 2 ohm or 4 ohm variety, and in this case I've went with 4 of the 4 ohm version. And that's because in my application I can wire all 4 of these together in parallel and present a 1 ohm load to the amplifier. 4 ohm subwoofers are also good when you're running just a pair, a duo. If you have 2 of the subwoofers at 4 ohms wired in parallel, those will present a 2 ohm load to the amplifier. Obviously the 4 ohm or 2 ohm model is going to vary depending on your system and amplifier that you plan to use, but I just want to point it out because it's something that you definitely want to consider before you pick your subwoofers. Let's head on over to the computer and get our design made. So the design I came up with here is 8 cubic feet total tuned to 33 hertz. If we take a look at this graph here, this gray curve here, that's AudioControl's recommended enclosure specs, which would have been 7 cubic feet tuned to 39 hertz. The reason I went a little bit larger on the air volume with a little bit lower tuning is you can see that I'm able to get more low-end extension with the sacrifice of not having as much output in the upper frequencies here. I've said this many times before, but everything in car audio is a trade-off. For the port style on this enclosure, we've gone with a slot port, and since that slot port is centered between the 4 subwoofers, we need to have an L-shaped curve to it where it runs into this bottom wall here. That way we can have the proper port length in order to get to that 33 hertz tuning. Overall, our dimensions ended up being 55 wide, 19.5 tall, and 22 inches deep. Due to the limit on the width and needing to be able to fit this large port in between the subwoofers, we did have to go with this staggered design where the subwoofers are kind of angled to each other rather than just being in a straight row. That allows us to fit all 4 of the subs. Now do remember, even though I'm showing this outer baffle like this for the time being, I can always modify it as needed if I want to add a little bit more unique design on the outside there, and I'll definitely want to round over this port entrance as well. Speaking of the port, you can see on the port walls here that we have a rounded corner on the inside there, and then of course the end of our port is going to be rounded as well. Inside the enclosure you can see several different 45-degree angled pieces. We've got one in the port here that helps kind of direct the air in and out of the port through this channel here, and then we've got the 45-degree corners in several different locations inside just to add a bit more strength into the corners of this box. You'll notice there's a bit of interference right here between this 45-degree corner and the cutouts. The same for this cutout here. That's due to the fact that I can't really get these subwoofers any more inset inside the baffle to avoid that 45-degree area, but this is no big deal. I'm going to show you guys how we can account for this little bit of overlap once we actually go to build the enclosure. We'll be using a bit of a router bit trick to make sure that these 45s are notched away and perfectly match the cutout in our baffle. Now you can see that we have 2 layers of material on the subwoofer baffle, and that's because we're removing so much material for the subwoofer cutouts themselves. We want to get this piece extra thick to add some of that strength back in. But we also want to make sure that we add some bracing, so I've added some window braces right there inside the enclosure as well. Adding these window braces in ties the different sides of the enclosure together, making this enclosure a lot more strong and stiff and reducing panel resonance. In the vehicle, I do plan to go with this orientation here where the subwoofers will be facing upwards along with the port also facing up. This board that you see here in blue, that's obviously not going to be clear. I just have it transparent so that we can see inside the enclosure. But once we do actually build the enclosure, it's going to look a little bit more something like this. And since we have this nice big front face exposed, I'm thinking about doing something cool on this face to kind of give the enclosure a bit more cosmetic appeal. What do you guys think that I should add on this face? So now that I've got the design all modeled, I can create a blueprint for it as well. I'll be able to print this blueprint out, and it's going to give me all of the relevant dimensions for the overall enclosure, but also for every single piece inside of the enclosure. This is going to help me a ton when I go to build the enclosure. I'll have each of these dimensions ready to go. And a quick shameless plug, if you guys are in need of a subwoofer enclosure design for your next project, come on over to my website, CarAudioFabrication.com. I'd love to help you out. Now, although we have the design and layout made, the planning process is not quite done. I do want to come up with some ideas for some beauty panel work that we should do on this enclosure. If you guys have watched my videos in the past here on the channel, you know that I like to use the router quite a bit to make each enclosure one of a kind. So we definitely want to do that on this enclosure as well. Now, if there's a particular material or technique that you guys would like to see used, be sure to let me know in a comment. Also, don't forget that you can definitely check out those other past builds here on the channel. If you're in the market for some new subwoofers, definitely be sure to check out the Spike series from our show sponsor, AudioControl. A big thanks to them, along with Jerry, Joseph, William, and the rest of the Patreon membership team. A big thanks to all those guys for making these videos possible, and thank you for tuning in and watching.